216-578-1007 if you want to join us live, or 800-348-1007, 35192. Send me a text. And you can always leave a message on the Alan Cox Show After Hours line that is always available to you if you're not a person who can listen live or you just can't get to us while the show is on. I got a lot of calls from people about things that happened on Friday. However, Friday was a sum-up show, and so we weren't here. But thank you for the messages. They were like, hey, you guys were yes, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. But we were out on Friday doing some at-home equipment testing. Alan, I missed your show for about a week. I have been dispatched to New York as part of the disaster mortuary crew, and it's a living nightmare here. Makeshift morgues in parking garages, sports centers, and in the streets. I never thought I would witness something like this. Your show is a welcome distraction.
Wow. We got a segment for you from last week.
I was talking... I think I told you guys over the weekend, my buddy who is a ER doctor in Atlanta that we went to college together. It's like a suburb of Atlanta. We were talking over the weekend, and he was saying how he works at a for-profit hospital, and since they were normally seeing like 160 patients a day in the ER, they're seeing like 70 now because people aren't twisting their ankle playing basketball and things like that.
Those are the people they make money off of.
Well, so
they don't make money off COVID patients.
They're not making money, and They cut all their doctors and nurses' hours. We were talking about this last week, and he said he's went from like 4 12-hour shifts a week to like 1. He called me Friday. He doesn't work again until Wednesday.
But why aren't they using them for COVID patients?
Because they're just not seeing as much in that specific hospital. So what he's doing is he's trying to convince his wife, who's also a doctor, to sign up like Poundcake's friends.
Don't do it.
And be trapped. They're talking about going to New York City, moving from Georgia to go to New York City to help there because those people need all that they can.
Yeah, Poundcake, your former roommate, they're traveling nurses, and he just got cut.
Yeah, he literally had just got there.
Seattle.
I think he got there Wednesday or Thursday, and his first shift was supposed to be today on Monday. And they called him, whenever I text you guys, like Saturday, I think it was, maybe Friday, and they were like, he said his recruiter called up like, hey, so I have some bad news. And essentially just your friend.
This was a bad time to be going to Seattle because they're kind of on the other end.
Well, it was the epicenter at first.
But they kind of have flattened things
But you sign a contract before you leave because you want something lined up.
Yeah, no, I understand.
He had no way of knowing that it wasn't going to be like that. But they essentially
I'm just saying bad luck for him. Bad timing.
And he had signed a lease. He signed a lease, and he luckily it was month to month, so he's not completely out. But he still uprooted his entire life from Las Vegas to Seattle, and he's cooped up in an apartment until further notice. So he can either try and find another hospital that wants to extend a contract to him, but they might cancel him as well, or it's like, do I go home and ride this out? Because he can't believe that a nurse and someone of his skill set, like he's done this, urgent care, ER, like he's made for trauma, they cut him.
That's exactly what my buddy, he's a doctor.
And he's like, so do I not, use my skills and try and help a pandemic?
That's
or do
exactly
I go home and collect
said.
Unemployment?
Yes.
I cannot believe they have to make that choice.
And my buddy was too. He was like, they basically just dumbfounded that the hospital was like more interested in pay cuts.
Of course.
Where he's
of course they are.
Of course.
Because it's that's the problem with for-profit hospitals and for-profit prisons and for-profit anything.
Well, we have for-profit healthcare in America.
Right.
I know that, but I mean, just to hear him be on he was sitting there like, I am, like Cody just said, I am qualified, I am skilled, I can do so much more than you're allowing me to do right now because you want to save how much money? You know what I mean? So he's seriously talking about moving to New York City with his wife and helping out there.
And when I talked to my friend, I was like, so you could go to New York. He's like, I am not going to New York. He was like, I just draw the line. He was like, because I'm sure, you will work the hours that you want, but they're not going to pay you what you want. He was like, you pretty much take what you can get, and then you're going into the line of fire every single day. Like, it would be a 12-hour shift, 7 days a week.
There's a guy who's
at the hospital probably.
There's a lot of these nurses that are doing, like, videos that are just kind of making cable news or whatever when they're kind of personal dispatches from wherever they are. And there's this one guy who's a nurse from Kansas, and he moved to New York, and he's been posting videos about how awful it's been and blah, blah, blah. And the person who was introducing the video said, you might remember this person because he was on The Real World 15 years ago. And Gwen's like, that's where I know that guy.
Who is it?
Dan, I don't know the guy's name. Dan, she would know.
Oh, man. I like that show.
I only watched the first couple of seasons of The Real World, so I don't know the guy. I don't know.
Did you watch the season with Erica?
No. Was she on DC?
She was on DC.
My friend was living in DC, and we were in college at the time, and I remember my friend being like, oh my God, they're filming Real World here this season. I'm going to be a blurry face on that show. Like, that was her whole goal, was to be like one of the chicks they brought back to the house. You know what I mean? I mean, when you're 19 and it's, oh my God, to be on MTV or whatever.
Get into the Smash Room or
yes,
whatever.
Yes, that was 100% her goal.
No, I didn't. I watched the Erica season when she first joined my show here because I wasn't familiar with her work or whatever. So I would watch those episodes to find clips of her to play here on the show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it was interminable. I mean, I was like, oh God, I hope, and she left early. And I was like, thank Christ I don't have to watch this anymore. Yeah. But I watched like when The Real World was a brand new thing.
In New York City.
New York and LA, I think, were the first. Whatever the third season was.
Seattle was the third one, wasn't it?
Maybe. They probably got me for the
fish.
The only reason why I knew who Erica was because I made it my mission to smash her friend Mike Manning that was on the show, like her roommate. I invited myself to her wedding because I heard that Mike was invited. I was like, so Erica, I'm helping you cut all these invitations. So does this mean I can come to the wedding? She's like, we weren't even that cool then. She's like, I guess you can come. I was like, sweet. And I was like, and I'm booking a hotel room, the same hotel room that Mike's in.
You helped out just so she would
invite me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was an intern then, so she didn't really know me. But I was like, I want to smash your friend. I want to see if I can.
Well, like that dude, The Miz, that wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
We've had him on the show a couple of times. He's
nice
from
guy.
Parma.
I was like, Tim Misny?
He was on The Real World.
Yep.
Tim lives out in Misneyland. I don't think he was on. He's got his own Real World going on.
That's probably the show that I've met the most people from that I've never watched the show. Like, I never really watched the show, but I know, like, Theo Vaughn and Christina P. and Miz, and, like, there's, like, a handful of people that I've met from that show, but I never was, like, a fan of that show.
But Christina was from Road Rules,
right?
She's
Road Rules,
not because my friend Susie Meister was on that show.
They're all the same. And then my friend, I went to college with someone who did Are You the One?
Yes.
Where you win like $1 million.
Did they win $1 million?
Were they the one?
So they weren't the one?
Yes, she won $1 million, but it was split for everyone in the house, so she got like $50,000.
That's not bad.
I'll take $50,000.
Those people aren't making that much on those shows.
Yeah.
Today's the, speaking of Tom Hanks, we were talking about him at the top of the show because he hosted the SNL At Home special that they did on Saturday night. He did a monologue from his kitchen. And today is the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 13 mission. Houston, we have a problem.
Oh, yeah.
The Tom Hanks
great movie
reenactment of that.
Ron Howard,
right. Mm-hmm. Kevin Bacon, Tom Hanks, the late, great Bill Paxton, I think, was in that movie. Gary Sinise.
God, I forgot Bill Paxton's dead.
I know.
That's upsetting.
Sucks.
Who else?
Hey, we've got a problem here.
What did you do?
Nothing. I stirred the tanks.
This is Houston. Say again, please. Houston, we have a problem.
That was a classic, iconic line
chills.
from them. In real life, they said, Houston, we've had a problem. So you think of the guys who were really Jim Lovell and Jack Swigert, I think was the guy Kevin Bacon played. And you think about in real life, here were two guys who didn't say anything to Houston until after they figured they couldn't fix it. Mm-hmm. Right? That's what badasses these guys were up there. They were like, Houston, we have had a problem. And I got to tell you, you know what that problem is? It's our lack of communication, Houston. That's what our problem is. I know this is probably an inopportune time to mention it, but God damn it, Houston, if you don't start being a little bit more forthcoming with me, I don't know how we're ever going to get through this.
Have you ever been to like the Air and Space Museum or even the NASA base here where they have the actual like Apollos?
I will say that I was very disappointed because I was a huge fan of Air and Space for a long time. Mm-hmm. He wrote some of my favorite comic books. And so when I was a kid and they go, do you want to go to the Air and Space Museum? I said, absolutely. And I get there and it's a bunch of old janky suits and like, you know, here. And I go, where's Air and Space?
Well, imagine.
I can't, the guy's not signing any books. And they told me he was dead.
I was just as surprised because Erin Space runs a really nice lifestyle blog, and the things that she does, it's Erin Space. You know what I mean?
It is, with an apostrophe.
You're just like, come on, what is
I know.
this?
Yeah. No, but to Bill's point, you go to these things and you look in and you're like, these guys were in tin cans.
These guys, three people
Yes.
in these little spaces. Like, we talk about being quarantined right now. You had nowhere to go. Like, you can't just I'm going to go for a walk. You are trapped with somebody for a week or what was it, 13 days they were gone?
Well, and if something goes wrong, you burn alive.
Yeah.
Or, you're in the space shuttle. They were like, man, this is awesome. Look at this.
The balls that it would take to
like
get
Drake's
in one of
house.
those Apollos and go up is just, I couldn't even imagine it. Now, we've talked about this in the past about would you go into space if you had the chance? And I said I absolutely would, but I'm thinking of the space shuttle. If it was an Apollo mission, I don't know if I would.
Like those old 1960s capsules.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different thing altogether.
Okay, Houston, we've had a problem here. This is Houston. Say again, please. Houston, we've had a problem. We've had a main B bus undervolt. Roger, main B undervolt. Okay, stand by.
Did he say they found a deep fried buffalo?
Yes.
I couldn't really
Yeah,
understand.
deep-fried
That is
buffalo.
that is a problem. Oh my God. What did he say? We found a deep fried buffalo.
I don't know. Tom Hanks' delivery was much better.
We've had a main B bus undervolt.
We got a deep fried buffalo.
Main beef bus rival is what I heard. It's our main beef bus rival.
Our main beef bus rival is up here. I usually only see him on the 151, and that's an express.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. We've got a deep fried buffalo. I'm sure there's absolutely no way to know what he actually said 50 years ago. I doubt any of this was committed to history's archives. So we're going to go with deep fried buffalo,
Deep-fried buffalo.
or our main
Main beef bus
rival.
ride. Yeah, bus rival.
Bus rival, right.
We've had a main B bus undervolt.
We
Yeah.
got our main beef bus rival right up here.
Main beef bus rival.
How'd we get up here? I thought it was just me and Jack. Nope, our main beef bus rival
They
is
take
up
that
here.
rivalry very serious. They're
They
we're getting
really
up to
do.
space, and we're going to show them what's what.
Bring that bus beef around here.
Man. And to not reveal it
No.
until something happened up there. Amazing.
They thought they had it under control.
Yeah. So the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 13 thing was today. That's the day that they, quote, had a problem. And then they... I think Apollo 13, the film... Tom Hanks over the years has kind of become one of these guys who's done so many movies about space and war that I think he thinks he's like an astronaut or something, which is fine. He probably, just in his research over the years, knows more, actually, the nuts and bolts of it than any of us.
Well, and they also have to take them up in they shot that movie in one of those zero-G planes.
The vomit
where
comet.
they just drop real quick to create the zero Gs, and that's got to be pretty unsettling.
Yeah.
Did they all die?
No.
No.
You never seen it? No. Oh, it's a great movie.
I'm Googling it right now.
Yeah, Apollo 13.
It's in the same vein as Uncut Gems as far as tension goes.
I almost cussed right now. I almost cussed you out on air for making me watch that
I
movie.
didn't make you watch it.
Oh, you
I am-
watched Uncut Gems?
I am on the side of the caller who called and was mad at Bill for supporting that movie. First of all, nonstop panic attack.
Now
nonstop, two straight hours.
I must be in the middle of the two of you. Are you saying you didn't like it, or it was too stressful?
Because
I thought it was. I liked it, but I thought it was overrated.
It was very, very stressful. And as someone who has had issues gambling in the past and who has loved ones in their family who have gambling problems, that was not an enjoyable thing to watch. That was watching I've seen this happen. I know what's going to happen. This never goes right. But then I also felt it.
But I feel
in
like
my
there's
chest.
Felt the excitement?
Not the excitement. It's
the rush, the visceral reaction,
Yes.
your bubble gut from the movie.
I'm sitting there and I'm just watching him do this, and I'm like, go pay the guys. Go pay the guys. You have the money in your hand. Go pay the guys. What are you doing?
I was too distracted by his fake teeth. But
That was distracting.
B, I take some comfort in movies like that because you know how it's going to end.
I didn't know how this one was going to end.
You kind of did.
I'm not trying to
kinda
give it
did.
all away.
No,
but
no. There's no spoilers, but you know how it's going to end.
I didn't think that was what was going to happen.
Not specifically, but the general area in which the
Yeah, I mean, sure.
denouement will occur. You're like, yeah, okay. This is...
I was.
So you didn't enjoy it?
I would not watch that movie again.
It's a hard movie to watch. And the only reason I watched it again is because my girlfriend hadn't seen it, and I wanted her to watch it.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. I mean, and honestly, I don't know that I'd recommend it. It wasn't as good. The acting and the storyline did not outweigh how stressful it was. for me.
Now,
But
there's an important
that's
point.
What makes it.
No, that's not what makes
No,
it
but
good.
like the acting in the storyline is what makes it so stressful, which means they did a good job.
No. And there's no resolution. There's
there's a resolution.
But
Pretty
what
big
I'm saying-
resolution.
That resolution sucked. I hated that
Well, you
resolution.
can't. You don't get to decide how movies end.
I understand, but my opinion on the movie, if you want to keep telling me I'm wrong, you can, is that I'm not going to sit through 2.5 hours of stress to have it end in the way that it did. It was like watching Game of Thrones. I would not watch 9 seasons of Game of Thrones again to watch how it ended, regardless of if I enjoyed
with
the
you on
ride or
that,
not.
yeah.
They used to say you didn't get to pick how books ended either, Bill, until Choose Your Own Adventure started. Thank you very much. Listen, it's also an important thing to point out how much tension there's going to be when Poundcake watches the porn version, Uncut Gems.
Yes.
Because he doesn't like the little Shih Tzu down there, the Pekingese or whatever it is,
Yeah.
right?
Also ends with a headshot.
Also, wow, this
I'm
guy over
trying
here,
to stay
right?
away from the
The
spoilers.
movie's been out for 2-3 months, 4 months.
He's
whatever.
dancing around it. You're dancing around it. And this guy, oh boy, man. Are you gonna watch Uncut Gems, Poundcake, when that comes out?
Absolutely not. I don't do anything uncut. I live in the United States.
There are a lot of uncut guys in the United States.
Yeah,
my
get 'em out.
understanding. Yeah, all right.
Get 'em out.
All right.
Get him out.
There
So,
you go.
Do you only like movies that have
Yes.
good, like happy endings?
Why am I going to sit through 2 hours of something for it to end sad? That's why I didn't like The Crow. I watched The Crow. I was like,
That's why I didn't like The Crow.
it is. That's the saddest movie I've ever seen.
Really?
Where you're sitting there and I mean, I've seen Schindler's List, but like you're watching this. That's the next movie that came into my head of like 2 hours of sadness and stress for it only to end worse. And I'm like, who is enjoying this right now?
Well, The Crow was a comic book, so I saw the movie on a first date, but I kind of
didn't
knew
like it
going
at
in
all.
what it was about, and so I was so excited for it. And my date, a chick, spoiler alert, couldn't have cared less.
Not
but
enough
Date
Uncut
also
Gems?
end in a headshot?
Hey.
No. I liked The Crow very much.
I thought The Crow was great.
Yeah.
And also, they tell you how
Very
much time
sad,
he
yes.
has. Yeah.
So sad.
yeah.
So what?
but they
I
did
don't
it. They
think-
did a sequel.
I didn't like it. I didn't see the sequel.
Aren't they rebooting it? I'm looking online.
They
I
keep
think they
trying,
are, yeah.
but they've so far
They don't
been
need to.
unsuccessful in resurrecting Brandon Lee
Why is
yeah.
that? Like,
because he's dead.
well, no. I'm. That's not what I meant. I mean, why can't they recast and reboot all the time?
Yeah, they
What's
will.
the
Yeah, they
problem?
will.
I'm sure they
I'm
will.
sure they will.
Nobody's doing anything now.
But
I like a happy ending. That's why
but you
I
only
yelled
like
at you.
But
you
you
only
also-
like happy endings.
But you also you didn't think Uncut Gems was going to have a happy ending, did you?
I thought, well, now that Bill ruined it, this is what I'm going to say. I didn't think that they were going to kill him. I thought that maybe they'd beat the crap out of him, take most of his money, but he'd be alive and learn his lesson. That's what I thought.
and that's a happier ending?
That's a way. He's not dead. His kids aren't without a dad. I mean, I'm sitting there like, this is the worst thing that could have happened.
Have you ever seen the movie Seven?
Yes.
Yeah.
Different.
Not a
because-
happy ending.
Not a happy ending.
Not
different
a happy ending.
because Brad Pitt and Kevin Spacey, big crushes on those guys.
Okay.
All things considered, this is before the Kevin Spacey thing came out.
Understood.
But
Even after all the
I
stuff
really
came out,
liked that
still like
movie,
Kevin
Seven.
Spacey.
But that's
that
a
was more
bummer
of a
movie.
thriller. That was more of like a figure it out thriller type thing than Uncut Gems. And maybe I was too close to Uncut Gems, but that
I think you're just too close to
the
it.
end of that movie was awful. I don't like sitting through 2 hours for it to pay off in a sad, upsetting, horrible way.
I just thought it was really overrated. I was surprised that everybody was creaming their jeans over
I
Uncut
just thought
Gems.
I thought it did such a good job of creating that tension, and then I
the
honestly
thing,
I
though.
didn't see the ending coming.
Well, that's why I didn't see it.
So
anything
when
like
it
that either.
happened, I
screamed. I screamed in my house.
I was watching it with my buddy James in Movie Squad. We were in the theater, and we both go ah! Like we were like we didn't expect that
When you say
because
that,
it's so casual too. the way he
that's what
does
it was. Just they just walk out. Pow.
But it was also strangely stylized too, in a way where
Yeah.
like the camera would go into like holes and things and come out the gem
Yeah.
or the guy or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, it was cool, but there was like
I just really enjoyed it, and I thought the performances were good, and I thought like the way that he in certain situations is such like a weasel, and then like when he gets into a place where he's more comfortable, he's like the man of the room and just kind of holding court and stuff like that. Like he has this air about him that reminds me a lot of people that I don't trust.
Well, yeah, and I think
'Cause
that
they're
you
shady.
are
Yeah.
so impressed with that movie because you've never had someone close to you who's a gambler.
No, I do have people that are close to me that are gamblers.
To that level where people have ruined their lives.
Yes.
And that didn't strike a nerve with you
No, 'cause
watching that movie?
I stood close
Hold
to
on to
Kenny
stuff that
Rogers
much.
one time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And this movie didn't
While he
bring
was
back
singing
those
The
feels?
Gambler, it did, and that's why I enjoyed it so
Like
much.
I can separate those worlds. I can watch it and just enjoy it as the story that it is, and not make it as personal as you do. But I also watch
That
movies
seems like
all
a
the
BS.
time.
I was going to say, why watch a movie then? If you're not going to put yourself into the scenario, why watch it?
No, I mean I enjoy this watching the story unfold.
I guess. I'm watching it and I'm like, I know that guy. That sucks. Please stop doing it. I'm yelling his name at the screen.
Like I'm just as stressed
That
as you are.
sucks.
Like I'm saying, like I'm stressed as I watch it, and I'm putting myself in those scenarios, and I wouldn't act the same. And that's kind of a relief to me too. It's like, oh, I know I'm not going to get into these situations because I would never take someone's championship ring and then immediately pawn it. Like that's so
he
stressful to
didn't
me.
pawn it.
He did
did
pawn
No,
it.
he
pawn
didn't
it.
pawn it. He put it on the. There's a difference. He went back and got it. It's like, hey, hold this until Friday. I
That's
need
what
the money by
pawning
Friday.
is.
That's what pawning is.
Yeah, but he got the money back.
Well,
Yeah.
pawning doesn't mean that you leave it there. Pawning means you give it to a guy, he gives you money, and then you have to buy it back if you want it. Otherwise, they do
What
keep
am I
it.
thinking?
You're thinking selling.
Pawning is you
Maybe.
take, they give you money, and they go, you got
Yeah.
until
I had a
Friday.
different
Yeah, pawning is getting
understanding
credit
of
for what
of
that
a pawn shop
is.
then.
Yeah. Like you.
Maybe
you
you're
take
thinking of a
piece
prawn shop where they give you shrimp, and because you have a shellfish allergy,
I've never been into one.
That's probably why you had such a visceral reaction to this
Okay.
movie,
That must be it.
right?
But I just thought it was a very good movie.
I didn't like it. Well, I mean, it was fine.
I've got a break. If you are on hold, I'll grab you on the way back. If you want to shoot a text, 35192 for that. And another $1,000 for you, not at 3:30, but coming up at 4:30 this afternoon, and then 5:30 and 6:30. A chance for you to win yourself $1,000 on the way.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
Coronavirus.